greatest friend in the whole wide world!
Oh, shit. You startled me.
This little green guy has stayed in my head for so many years, mainly because of just how easily he was forgotten. The Barney franchise put a lot of things to rest by the time it really took off in 1992, and one of those things was Moonkin.
Oh!
And it's just so fascinating to me considering how much he was sort of played up.
I was wondering if you could play that song again.
In 1988, what was originally meant to be the finale to the entire series, 3 Wishes, Barney takes his friends to different locations on account of their own desires. A playground,
I wanna go to the seesaw!
Who cares what you think?
a petting farm with Jason Earls,
And my good friends Eli and Farmer Earl.
Just one taste, it'll drive you berserky cheese turkey!
and most importantly, the moon.
Hi, my name's Michael. What's yours?
There they meet Moonkin, sing songs for a little bit, Michael nearly dies, and eventually leave because Jason didn't want to leave the Earth with them, so they have to check up on him and Jackson. And we don't ever hear about this character again. Now, there's some oddities about Moonkin, and with this being the early years, it's understandable that not everything would be super thought out. It's just kind of fun. When they first meet the character, Barney says this,
He's a Moonkin, and I hear they're very friendly.
describing the character as if it's a species, a race of being. This isn't Moonkin, it's a Moonkin. This is just one of them. However, the gang just refers to them as Moonkin. I'm surprised they didn't name the character themselves. They showed they could with Babybot when she debuted years later, and she came out of a box. The original 3 Barney home videos were marketed alongside book adaptations of themselves.
Chicken sandwiches.
In the books For a Day at the Beach and The Backyard Show, there's a page dedicated to Barney and his vital statistics. It's basically just a page of details about Barney that they'd very quickly retcon after people found out this franchise existed. But in the 3 Wishes book, this page was given to Moonkin, just referring to that as his name as opposed to the supposed race that Barney implied in the video. In his vital statistics, there's a lot of really cute additions. I'm happy when you look up at the moon and wave to me. Where I live, on the moon, and in your heart. Brother even be up there eating moon pies. His favorite Earthlings consist of the viewer and the entire Backyard Gang. And on Barney's list of favorite friends from the previous books, Moonkin is listed before anyone else. They were hinting at him already. He appears on the cover spread for the 3 Wishes book with the rest of the cast on the moon, and the back of the VHS cover for 3 Wishes. Albeit in a set photo that I guess they forgot to key the blue screen out for. Everything about 3 Wishes branding is focused on their trip to the moon and encounter with Moonkin. It's like they were sure he'd be a favorite. And it's funny because 3 Wishes again was written as the finale to the series. The character was designed by Jamie Ruth Connor, who also designed Barney the Dinosaur and built the original plush doll for the show. The costume was built and the performer inside would walk around on their knees with the feet kicked out in front to simulate the movement of his small stature. Moonkin doesn't speak English and communicates through high-pitched noises.
Put it in the oven for Moonkin and me. You like that game? Let's show him another one.
Shut up!
Although the book lists his age as 5.5 light years, this is more than likely meant to be thought of akin to human years, if not even younger, as Moonkin is presented as curious and with toddler-like behaviors. They hang around, teach him different games like patty cake and London Bridge, before needing to leave back to Earth.
Your daddy's calling.
Who cares what you think? You're my father!
I love this character purely for what they represent. The early home videos had a ton of emotional beats that the Barney franchise would gradually steer away from over time as it grew stronger. The sadness felt as Tina makes a new friend that she has to leave feels genuine. Yet knowing that their trip to the moon was entirely in their imagination leaves relief that they'd not only be guaranteed to meet again, but that Moonkin could potentially find his way to Earth himself, just as he desires in the 3 Wishes storybook. With 3 Wishes being the series ender for this iteration of Barney, Moonkin makes the seal-off feel complete, but in a bittersweet way. Barney over the years has gone back to space and all over the world, but Moonkin has never made any other appearance nor been referenced in any official media outside of 1988. Moonkin is a mysterious character that was given so much love from the production and cast of characters, and is a character that, although was left behind and slowly forgotten by the Barney franchise at large, was and will always be present on the moon and in our imagination.
Every time I see the moon up in the sky, I'll wave to you. Goodbye. Bye.
It's BJ! Hi, everybody.
You're lying! No, I'm not
You're
lying!
Bro, BJ used to be one of the funniest looking dudes of all time. Look, man, I don't care if I get flamed. I love the early design for BJ. He's so strange.
A real police officer. Wow.
Season 2 of Barney came after a hiccup. PBS initially didn't order more episodes of Barney and Friends after its first season, leading parents to cause an outroar and prompting the show to continue production. They were very quick to point out that things would feel fresh and that there'd be a new dinosaur character to interact with.
Oh, and we'll even have a new friend for everyone to meet.
A new friend?
Oh my God, can you let me do what I need to do?
But things would be different than how they were when Baby Bop came about. Keep in mind, Baby Bop was the first time the Barney brand added another dinosaur to the roster, and she was all the way back in Barney's original series, Barney and the Backyard Gang, which is still kind of trippy to think about.
I love bubbles!
Well, here I am in my tubby again.
When she showed up, she was huge, dude. Her debut was in Barney in Concert from 1991,
What a nice fluffy suds, honey.
which was a live show held in Texas, later released on VHS. She was dancing a little spicy, and the Lions group was like,
You're fired.
and brought in somebody else to be the body actor. But Baby Bop started off being basically the same height as Barney, which was jarring just as it was because she had that 1,000-mile stare, but also because of the fact that she was presented as, well, a baby.
Barney games! Yay!
Yay!
Oh my god! Oh Jesus!
Where's my blankie? Hattie took my blankie. I want my blankie back.
Like a literal 2-year-old. So like, it's like, what kind of growth spurt? This carried all the way into the first season of Barney and Friends on TV until the crew was like, guys, this doesn't make any sense, and shrunk her down accordingly to better fit her age. Now, here's where things get weird. I mean, like they weren't already, right? For season 2, they decided to add another new character, and one that would serve as a sibling to Baby Bop. You would think they'd follow the structure that they just amended and make him a similar height, but they didn't.
Look out below!
Okay. Oh.
What?
This is BJ. He's a protoceratops. He's bright yellow with purple spots and a bright green tummy.
Like me!
He's got a red hat, little french fries on his head, and his head makes him like literally taller than Barney. What? At the start, BJ is 6 years old. So yeah, okay, it makes sense that he'd be taller than his baby sister in some way, but when he's taller than Barney, and Barney in season 1 said he was like, how old did he say he was? Like 100 million billion or something?
200 million years!
Okay, get in. Are you crazy? I'm not getting in.
That doesn't make sense. I really wonder how late into production BJ came about, because his introduction was not nearly as impactful and thought out as Baby Bop's. When Baby Bop debuted, they had her come out of a present on stage, dance to Mr. Knickerbocker, and literally named her after the song. And she was a key character in the first season.
And I've got my soap. Look at here.
BJ doesn't really get an introduction. Baby Bop got all that attention, and BJ's grand appearance is not being mentioned until 17 minutes into an episode, and Baby Bop going, look everybody, it's BJ, my brother, and he walks into frame and misses a high five from Derek. It's so funny too, because out of the 18 episodes of season 2, BJ appears in 5, with Baby Bop being in 10, and he doesn't even show up in the opening sequence, while his sister is in like 2 clips picked from the visuals.
I just love using my loud outdoor voice.
BJ's suit design here has both some interesting issues and quirks. When making the costume and performing a screen test, his shade of yellow was so bright the cameras had a fit, and he basically came off looking white instead. Which is a similar issue to what Barney suffered in the first 3 home videos, so they had to go back and correct the color before doing anything with him. His mouth operates similarly to Barney's, something they'd never do again afterwards with any other character. His head is attached to the body just like Barney's. He even has the same eye blinking mechanism installed, although it's hard to catch, and since you almost never see him jump off the ground due to his legs being solid bricks, it almost doesn't even matter. They basically just built another version of Barney. As weird as it is, I really enjoyed his nature here. He's a caring and protective older brother who doesn't know much about how things work, and even has to be taught the concept of imagination, which makes his focus episode, An Adventure in Make-Believe, so much more special.
I guess I still need a bigger imagination.
Oh
And you can see him using that imagination prowess in future episodes. He really starts making his own fun with it.
Oh my God!
If you have on anything green, raise your little finger.
I am
We
green.
have a green stuff.
Okay, they have on green and they said the magic. Come on out of the book.
Birds and animals and I see it. I did it.
Now after season 2, they must have been like, man, this is stupid. So instead of making a new design, they took the same one and just squashed him down. This is infinitely worse than what came before it. Before, BJ looked like he had room to actually move his mouth. But now all that room is gone and his whole head has to move in order for him to speak because there's no space to do anything.
Hi, Barney. Hi, everybody.
This is disgusting. This really is. It is.
He just looks so cramped and awful. I can't stand 1994 BJ, dude. And they must not have liked it either because it was gone the moment season 3 hit in the year following. And hey, would you look at that? There he is in the opening sequence. We won, guys.
I said get out of my face.
Don't get it twisted, 1993 BJ is still my favorite design for the character, with 1995 BJ being a close second. My second favorite BJ costume, but it admittedly was not the most photogenic. He looks kind of strange.
Run into the street.
He's just so bizarre and strange looking and primitive, and I love when shows are like that, where they're trying to figure out how they want their character to look, and then the next design is like drastically different. This one had a lot of charm to it. You can tell that they really wanted something that was like kind of similar to Barney, but they weren't exactly sure how to make it work. It's the same kind of love that I have for the original Barney, how weird he is, and just the fact that he exists makes him feel special. 1993 BJ is a suit that you will never see referenced by the official brand probably ever, but it's so interesting how the future BJ costumes kind of take from that design, and even the cartoon designs that you see in the storybooks that get drawn for Barney use that same design, and sometimes even almost the height of BJ, even after he was redesigned to be shorter and have his design changed a little bit. Like, everything gets taken from that original design, and I think it deserves its flowers for being the first design for BJ and just how different it was.
See you later. Bye-bye. Take care.
Maybe a little help from
The Barney Bag!
Boy, oh boy. Let's see what we can find.
If you don't remember the visuals, you probably remember the song in some way or another. The Barney Bag is an item synonymous with the peak era of Barney and Barney aesthetics in the mid-90s. Brought in as a way to inspire kids to engage in arts and crafts, the Barney Bag became a staple in the early days of the Barney and Friends series. The first time we'd see the Barney Bag would actually be in the first episode of Barney and Friends from 1992, Queen of Make-Believe.
This looks like a job for...
The Barney Bag!
It literally just looked like something they picked up from JCPenney's.
Do you see anything else you need, Barney?
Oh, well, let me see here.
The Barney Bag started off with the appearance of a standard bag with a purple foil design and a name tag with the Barney logo printed on. Inside the bag would be items specifically related to the situation at hand, that being whatever they wanted to build for the day. The bag, after its inception, wasn't the most appealing looking thing, admittedly, but the seed was planted. When season 2 would arrive that following year, the Barney Bag returns with an entirely new look. This design stuck and would evolve ever so slightly from here. Now, the Barney Bag would be blue with purple, yellow, and green stars and swirls. As evident, the Barney Bag is much more vibrant and visibly present. Barney at the time would be emboldened by purple, yellow, green, and blue colors through its merchandise, and with this redesign, the production crew seemed to have taken great inspiration from the branding and merchandise, using all of those same colors throughout. It was here that the Lions Group, Barney's rights holders and creators, knew they had something special on their hands. With parents wanting something for their kids, As well as the bag encouraging arts and crafts, they decided on an idea to push a version for stores, to reach kids growing up with the series in hopes that they'd get involved with the activities as well, hands-on. The Barney Bag would then be registered as a trademark during the second season in 1993. It would appear in the 1994 Broadway live show Barney Live in New York City, and then in 1995, it continued to be a mainstay in the third season of Barney and Friends. During the third season, Lions would release the Barney Bag to stores as an official piece of merchandise. This rollout included a marketing campaign tied to the home video Making New Friends, which was the episode On the Move from season 3. The Barney Bag released to stores resembled that of the actual bag from the series, but with certain liberties taken to differentiate it from the real thing. Here, the Barney Bag features the same colors and similar patterns, but with a large emblem in the middle with Barney sprouting out. There's also a blue zipper at the top, rather than being always open. The zipper holds a spiral tag, allowing the owner to write their name. My personal one was actually formerly owned by Lauren King, who played Kathy in the early years of the franchise, and her name is written on the tag. Inside every Barney Bag would be items such as felt, feathers, fabric, yarn, and more, as well as an activity booklet. The Barney Bag had a suggested retail price of $17 and at launch would be heavily promoted alongside the Making New Friends home video, often seen in PDQ displays with each other. The Lions group stated to have had close to 12,000 daycare centers sample the Barney Bag, receiving great acclaim for its provision of artistic activities. The Barney Bag is known for its continuous appearances, being the first fully original melody and song unique for the Barney and Friends TV series and, well, just the song itself every time it would appear.
Well, I've been looking in my Barney bag, and I found a lot of things. Gizmos and gadgets and odds and ends, and even some old strings.
So let's ask ourselves the question, what can we make today? With imagination and the Barney Bag, we'll see what we can make today. Yeah, see what we can make today.
The Barney Bag would continue to show up through seasons 4, 5, and 6 of Barney and Friends before being discontinued in 1999. It's been thought that the interest in this staple either faded or became lost in the shuffle of rights after the Barney franchise would be bought out by Hit Entertainment. Season 6 would be its final set of appearances before the trademark for the Barney Bag would expire in 2003. The Barney Bag is unique as it provided ways for kids to directly involve themselves not only with the home videos they loved, but the simple idea of imagination and artistic exploration. The fact that it only existed through what many consider to be the golden era of Barney only proved it to be truly a relic of its time. A perfect representation of one of Barney's strongest messages then and now, that being to never stop testing your imagination and where it can take you.
Imagination and the Barney Bag, we'll see what we can make today. Yeah, see what we can make today.
Oh, hi there, everybody.
Barney the Dinosaur has a history spanning over 30 years as a stuffed toy that springs to life whenever he's needed.
I sure wish you'd hurry up and grow big and tall.
Oh, is this big and tall enough, Sean?
Something so iconic that even the simple sight of one of the plush dolls from the show to an everyday person will spark some sense of nostalgia. However, show any casual person a photo of this, and you may run into some brief confusion. Whoa! Barney began in 1988, and there are numerous videos currently on the channel speaking about the history of this franchise that'll be linked in the description, but what we'll be discussing here is one of the strangest cases in this character's lifetime and the mystery behind its disappearance.
Thank you, Bob. Barney, where are you?
The original Barney plush doll first appeared in the home video The Backyard Show, released in 1988 as part of the Barney and the Backyard Gang series. Although prominently mentioned in the theme song that Barney the Dinosaur is a character derived from the imagination of children, the fact that the production crew, the Lions Group, needed a toy to represent the new character in the video series seemed to slip past everyone's mind. So much so that the doll that came to be was only done so just a few weeks before filming officially began. Jamie Ruth Connor, a woman with a background in puppetry, would take on the task, her contributions to the franchise only truly coming to light over the past few years. Jamie not only built the first plush for screen use, but put on paper Barney the Dinosaur's finalized design as a whole and oversaw its production by the Irene Corey production crew.
Barney! He's back!
In just 2 days, Jamie was able to trace out patterns and construct the Barney plush, bringing it to completion right in time for the home video series to make its mark.
Look what I found! Barney the Dinosaur! I'm going to put him right here so he can watch our show.
The 1988 doll for Barney the Dinosaur is often remarked for its unusual appearance, especially in comparison to what would come much later in the franchise. Succeeding plush dolls would take their own liberties while maintaining a straightforward resemblance to their costume variants. However, the 1988 Barney doll is strikingly different than even its full-body counterpart. In over 30 years, the 1988 doll remains the only one of its kind in a variety of fascinating ways. It remains the only plush doll used in the franchise to feature the T-Rex fingers that Barney became well known for. Because he's a T-Rex. It also remains the only doll used on screen to not show Barney's teeth in any way. Instead would be a pink piece of fabric, in a strange way meant to represent both a smile while also referencing the tongue that the Barney costume would have at the time. Barney stands straight up, as opposed to the crouching position that would eventually become a mainstay. The most fascinating set of liberties taken all lie in the face. Interestingly, the facial structure of Barney's doll form in no way resembles that of his fully realized self, coming to more of a cone shape rather than a fully fleshed out head.
These chipmunks?
Yeah.
No. My father got...
What about your
Indian,
dimple?
Can we get over this?
His eyelids also appear to be that of a standard purple, as opposed to the deep purple used throughout the doll's body as well as the costume itself. The eyes, placed on both sides of his head, have a vintage look, even for the time, with lush eyelashes. And for the only time, when Barney would wink at the camera at the end of the videos, he would do so by closing his eye as you would expect, done so with digital frames drawn over top of the footage. The Barney series following would replace this with a sparkle added instead. We could go on and on with the distinct details of this design, the round black nostrils, the green soles underneath the feet. This iteration of Barney stands out in so many ways even today. I also want you to notice that the only pieces of footage being shown are from the first 3 tapes in the franchise's history. Those being The Backyard Show, 3 Wishes, and A Day at the Beach. The reason being that once these tapes wrapped up, this doll would be packaged up, seemingly never seen again. The 3 tapes were originally meant to be it for Barney, but after their popularity rose, the series continued, with redesigns of the character taking place. The original costume would be brought out for certain occasions even still, but the doll itself would not. Certain ideas and inspirations would be lifted from it to create the new iterations under the new refreshed design of Barney, but there was no real reason to use this plush doll again. What's strange is that, despite this being a piece of American pop culture history, its whereabouts to this day are unknown. Props from the early seasons of Barney and Friends pop up from time to time, with the studio plush dolls existing to this day in one way or another, but the one that started everything off has been lost to time. Making matters worse, not only are there little to no images of this piece of art available, as photos taken on set for a series unsure of its future back in the late 80s would of course prove to be scarce, but Jamie Connor only created this one doll. No stunt variants, no alternate variants, no backups. What was shown on screen was the only one in existence. For all intents and purposes, this was Barney. Andrew Olson, one of the most dedicated members of the Barney community, went on his own search throughout the Texas area gathering information, but at the time of recording has come up with nothing. It seemingly was last seen in a storage crate with other props from the time, including Moonkin, the alien on the moon from the 3 Wishes tape in 1989 that only appeared once and never again. that storage crate might as well have just been trashed. Sadly, along with a lot of things from that time period, with Barney taking on a full redesign after these tapes, there wasn't much need for this original incarnation much longer. Even evident from the fact that these original 3 home videos went out of print in the early 90s after the Barney and Friends TV series took off. The Lions Group wanted as little confusion as possible from the appearance of Barney in the TV series and what he used to be.
Barney has changed through time just as we all do. I wish that I looked the same today as I did 6 years ago. But no, Barney has changed somewhat in his appearance. He's gotten a little bit more purple, and we actually came up with Barney's look at the company and hired some local people to help us fabricate him. But he was very excited about his growing and changing and new looks along the way.
It's likely that Barney's original plush wasn't deemed necessary to hold on to at the time, and eventually found itself lost to time before anyone could double back. See, this is why media preservation is so important. With the prominence that Barney the Dinosaur has on our culture today, it's unfortunate that no remnants of his original incarnation have survived. The original costume being destroyed in the early 1990s, and the toy created for the kids to play make-believe not even being able to show itself in a museum of any kind. With no concrete confirmation on its destruction or certain loss, the possibility of Barney's original plush still existing somewhere on the planet is very real, albeit very slim. It's crazy to think that a design so out there, so unique and different, so outlandish when put next to what we know today, is and has only been documented through its appearance in 3 VHS tapes from over 30 years ago. These are his home, these are his proof of existence, and although lost to time, it's important we never forget Barney's roots, as they laid the foundation for not just the franchise, but a lot of our memories. If you don't remember where you came from, you'll never know where you're truly going. And as long as our imagination still persists, the original Barney will always be around, as one of the most interesting pieces of lost history in children's media.
He sure is. Thank you, Barney, where are you? There he is.
Where did they get the sand?
Oh.
What do you guys do around here when I'm not around?